show now. We're going live now, Johnny. Hello, hello. This is ArchieLuxury. This is ArchieLuxury Live with Johnny Jarzen. And Johnny, it's great to have you here today. I've had some technical difficulties. It never rains, it pours. And Archie's had some technical difficulties here. So yeah, it's always, when you're really down, technology kicks you in the butt. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So anyhow, Johnny, we're here. I don't want to talk about my misery. I tell you, this week has been a disaster. I announced the separation on the channel. You know about that, right?
Right, yes.
I lost my job, right?
Yep. Know about that?
And then, Johnny, what actually happened then was my son's a codeine addict. I've announced that on the channel. I'm trying to help him with his addiction.
Right.
And Johnny, yesterday, the kitchen sink's blocked up, and there's a putrid smell underneath my house because it's been blocked up for about 3 months.
Fuck me dead.
Yeah, fuck me dead, Johnny.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, there's a putrid stink coming from the house, right? I didn't know what. I thought it was a dead animal, you know?
Uh-huh.
But it's the kitchen drain's been blocked up, right? I got to get a plumber out. And Johnny, I'm actually going to be doing some e-begging this weekend to help me fix my blocked drain.
Right.
These things are always expensive, I think, aren't they?
They are. Do you guys have unions over there?
Yes, we do. We're very, very unionized industry.
Yeah.
So it's about $150 an hour to get a plumber out.
That's what I was going to say. Union plumbers are quite expensive to come out.
So I've had a bit of bad luck there. I've also what other bad luck have I had there? I've sort of spent the last of my severance pay on food. Okay.
Okay.
I got about $80 left now.
Right.
But I think I'm getting the final payment next week. I'm praying to God that's the case.
Yeah. Well, that would be nice.
And I tell you the truth, Johnny, I've been listing a few things for sale. I got the Audemars Piguet on the channel.
Uh-huh, the 14790.
Yeah, it's absolutely mint. It's perfect. No takers, but Johnny, no take. I had 3 or 4 tire kickers, but that's about it.
All right.
My Cartier clock, no one came back to me on that. And Johnny, I tried to put the Patek on for sale. No one's expressed any interest.
Okay. The Patek. I'm surprised you're selling the Patek.
Johnny, I need the money. I'm down to $70. Do you understand? I got a plumbing problem. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got a plumbing problem. I've got I got problems, Johnny. I need the money. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
And yeah, it's very sad, Johnny. So I've been better. Let's just say that. I don't want to dwell on the negativity because I'm a very positive person and I like to concentrate on the positives.
Right.
On the plus side, I'm alive, Johnny. Okay? I'm a white middle-class man. I'm a white, overweight, lower middle-class man. And I'm in the Western world, Johnny. That's not a bad thing. Let's be honest. There are people in Africa who would cut off their hand to be in my position.
Right.
And you got to understand, because I'm in the Western world, Australia, just like America, you know, we're in the top 10% of the world's population. Just being born in America or Australia, we're in the wealthiest quadrant of the world anyhow. You know that?
Yes. I can't believe how expensive things are over in Australia. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Johnny, I'm thinking about working as a cab driver if things don't improve, okay? I'll be honest with you, okay? I got a fallback plan.
Well, or a limo driver, right?
Cab driver actually earns a bit more, Johnny. I've done both.
That's crazy because out here the limo drivers make more. Well, a funny story about the limo drivers.
Yep.
Is that if they take you to say they get a group of guys together and that limo driver takes them to one of the strip clubs, they get money. Yeah, the strip club pays them $50 just to drop the passenger off.
Yeah, not in Australia. That's fucking highly it's just a shit. We live in a communist regime here, okay? I don't know what to say, Johnny. It's just fucking, it's fucking dog shit, Johnny. I mean, I used to take, when I was in the taxi industry, I used to take people to brothels, right?
Uh-huh.
And I went to the brothel and said, oh, is there anything you could do? Because I bring a lot of customers to you.
And what'd they say?
They said, look, if you bring 20 people in, I'll get one of the girls to give you a hand job.
That's bullshit.
I just said, fuck it, don't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it. I said, I'll just give them a, I got a few brochures from the Catholic Church. I said, I'll just give them a morals lecture and tell them not to go and see you. And I'll just tell them that last time I sent a customer there, he came back with crabs. So, yeah, it was pretty nasty. It was pretty nasty. Johnny, I don't want to talk about negatives because I tell you the truth. I'm alive. I'm in Australia.
Right.
I've got some positive things happening.
Uh-huh.
So, Johnny, I've actually, to tell you the truth, let's look at the positives, okay? Let's look at the positives. Number one, I tell you what, I'm not working for the corporate boss anymore. Do you understand? I'm not working for the corporates. You understand?
Uh-huh. That's a positive.
That's a big positive. The other thing is, Johnny, is that I'm actually, let me say this to you, I wake up in the morning, I don't dread waking up because I've got to go to a job I can't stand. Right?
Right, well that's good.
I'm free. I'm actually going to sleep happy. I got quite a, look, Johnny, the credit card debt, it was at 60,000 6 months ago.
Right.
It's down to about 25, okay? I'll be honest with you, 25.
Keep going. That's the right thing to do.
And I got about $100,000 worth of luxury goods to sell off.
That's very good. I don't like credit cards. I only have them for emergencies. I have, right now, on my end, I don't have any debt on any credit cards.
Johnny?
That's the greatest thing. Once you do it, you feel so much better. It's like a weight lifted, you know?
Johnny, credit cards are evil. They're to entrap the middle class. That's what they are for. Now, Johnny, I got my lovely kids with me here, so if you hear some noises, they might just be us. Hey, Joshy, you okay? Oh, I tell you what, Joshy, once I finish the live show, we'll go to the school fete, okay? I think I got $20 hidden under the fridge, Johnny. I got 20 bucks, okay?
Yeah.
I think I got $20 under the fridge for emergencies.
I'll flick you some cash. How's
No,
that?
that's it. Johnny, you're a great guy. I love you. Johnny, I'm positive. I'm waking up. I actually am not depressed, and I really am happy. I love my life. I'm going for walks in the morning.
Right.
I'm helping my son with his codeine addiction. Right.
That's a good thing.
Actually, Johnny, I'm not too badly off. I got my health.
Right.
I've taken. I love life. To be honest, I know I've had a little bit of negativity, but as soon as I sell 1 or 2 pieces, I'll be fucking. The money will come in, and I'll reduce debts further, and I'll be able to, you know, I'll have some spending. I'll be able to pay a few bills, and I'll be a bit happier. So look,
yeah.
I got $50,000 worth of shit I want to get rid of. That's train sets, collectibles.
Right.
So I've got nothing to whinge about. I've got stuff. These are basically debt free. Well, you know, I don't owe money on them. They're all paid off. So
I'm surprised none of that Mammoth stuff is gone yet. That's some nice stuff. I was even thinking about picking up some pieces.
Look, Johnny, it's a tough thing. You know, it's sort of they're cute. They're British. You got to love British toys. See, this was when it wasn't made in China. Do you understand?
Exactly. Yep.
This is when British workers actually did something besides sell fucking double glazing. You know, there's a famous English guy, right? Famous Fred Dibner.
Yeah, Fred. Yeah. I watched all those ones that you had on there. All those.
And Fred Dibner says he's talking about English society. He said we've become a nation of con men selling double glazing to each other. I mean, Fred Dibner used to drive a steamroller around. That is fucking cool. You know what I mean?
I like those Mammoths. I mean, those are neat. I mean, I've got a lot of O-gauge trains, but those Mammoths are really, really neat.
Yes. You know, I've also got the Hornby O gauge. You know that? That's all O gauge. You know that? You know
Yep,
my
the
Hornby?
Hornby's nice. Yep, the Hornby's nice. That's the tin plate. That's really
Yeah.
hot right now.
Yeah. And look, that is highly. I've just got to put it on eBay. I think. I think the venue for that is eBay. I haven't. I've been so busy helping my son. I tell you the truth, Johnny. I'm actually fantastic. I'm on top of the fucking world. Yes, I separated. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, my son's a drug addict. Yes, I got a stinking fucking sewer under the house. Okay, with rodents eating the shit. Right. But on the positive, I'm alive.
Exactly.
I wake up every day. I love life. I wake up in the morning. I just throw myself out of bed. I'm so excited to do shit. No, Johnny, I'm on top of the fucking world. I got $100,000 worth of luxury goods to sell off. I owe a crummy $25,000. That's all. That's nothing. We're talking besides the mortgage and the car payments. But I mean, Johnny, I'm surviving. There's no problems at all. I'm going to fix this shit up. I'm going to sell this shit. And I tell you one thing for sure, Johnny, I'm not going to wallow in my own misery and suffering. I'm going to get out there and fucking, Johnny, this is a great chance. I'm so free to be out of that corporate bullshit world, you know. Right. So I'm actually happy. Johnny, I love my watches. Now, someone said to me, I'm selling the Patek. I've got to be honest with you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
This is strictly between you and me and the 3 viewers we've got at the moment, okay?
13. Let's get it right.
14, Johnny.
14 viewers, okay.
Johnny, I'm selling the Patek to give me seed capital. I want to buy and sell collectibles. That's what I'm going to do. It's seed capital.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I won't buy another Patek, but that 20,000, that's great seed capital. Do you understand?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm selling it for. I'm not saying I've still got Johnny. I got fucking 3 Rolexes, a Tudor. I got the Reverso is the keeper. I'll never sell that. You know, because it's just I love the Reverso.
Right.
It was given to me by someone special. Even though she's an ex, it's still very special. And at that time when she gave it to me, she loved me. So, you know, that's a very special thing.
Yeah.
I got the Breguet. I got the AP. Man, I also got the Tudor back. Did you know I got the Tudor back?
Yeah, I saw the video on that.
I love that. Actually, I'm wearing the fucking Tudor now. I love that Tudor. I absolutely love the Tudor. It's just...
Are you gonna love... My question is this. Are you going to love all those Rolexes and Tudor and all that as much as you've loved that Patek? ArchieLuxury is the Patek Calatrava.
Look, Johnny...
I understand it's going to cost you money or it's going to give you a lot of money, but, I mean, you know how long I've been watching since the beginning. And the Calatrava has been there through thick and thin. That's ArchieLuxury is the Calatrava.
Okay. Let me tell you a couple things. Number one, I'm not exactly giving the thing away.
Right.
Okay, $20,000 is fucking on the money. It's probably a smidgen over the odds just because it belongs to me.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not giving it away. I'm not actually, it's not a bargain, it's not a fire sale.
Right.
That's fucking good money for it. Number two, as soon as I sell it, I'm probably going to buy another Patek and sell that one as well.
Right.
I've got a few Pateks I'm keeping an eye out. I want to get bargain ones and sell them for higher money. I make a couple grand each time.
That's good.
That's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be Patekless. I'm going to sell that and buy another one. But don't tell the punters, because I like to extract every bit of misery out of it I can. Because with the Google Analytics, they tell me that most of my audience are American men, right, who like to hear about bad things happening to me. So I've got to deliver my content in a negative, witty way. Does that make sense? Well, I mean, there's a bit of truth. I mean, I haven't lied about the separation. I haven't lied about the job loss. I haven't lied about my son being a codeine addict. And I certainly haven't fucking lied about that putrid, horrid stench coming out from underneath my house. I wish that was a fucking lie. I can tell you that. But now, Johnny, you wanted to talk about a few topics. Tell me, I've been so busy with my own life. Tell me what topics you wanted to talk about today.
Well, one thing I found interesting on one of your, because I know that you're Catholic, and as I am Catholic, I found it interesting that you said that you actually went to a service when you were there in Thailand.
Actually, Johnny, I got to tell you this. I've often hated the Catholic Church. I've got a love-hate relationship, okay?
Right.
In Australia, they've had a lot of sex abuse scandals, and I just really hated the Catholic Church for a long time. But I had a sponsor in Thailand, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest with you, okay? She's an independently wealthy woman, okay?
Okay.
I went out with a few independently wealthy women, right?
Right.
I'm not even after money from them. You understand? It's just she's just a friend, man. You know, it's just a friend, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she asked me if I would go to a service with her, right?
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was the least, considering that she picked up the hotel tab. I thought, well, let's go, let's go. She's a Catholic, which in Thailand, most of them are Buddhists. You know what I mean?
Yes. Uh-huh.
But the Catholic Church in Thailand, they actually had a Filipino priest, because the Philippines is a very strong Catholic country.
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
And I got to tell you, I went to the service. You to know something, Johnny?
What?
I fucking liked it.
See?
It was a half-an-hour service. It was really cool. The priest even nodded to me because I was the handsome token foreigner in a suit. And look, my friend was happy because she managed to show off a young, handsome foreigner in a suit.
Yeah.
So she you know, and I got to tell you something. Maybe there is a God, Johnny. I'm starting to question my atheism. I'm starting to really question it and say, fuck. Maybe the church is. Look. This is an ideal sponsorship for the Catholic Church to throw in 100,000, and I could become a mouthpiece for them, or any other religion, any other gospel religion, anyone who wants to spruik their religion on my channel. I'm completely viable, whether it's Allah, whether it's a Jewish God, or whether it's a Jehovah's Witness God. For the right amount of money, I'll happily spruik their answer as the gospel.
Right.
But in all seriousness, Johnny, I got to tell you, I actually enjoyed the service.
That's good. Well,
I enjoyed it.
You before you became atheist, you were Catholic, correct?
Yeah, I was born. Okay, let me explain to you. I was christened in the Ukrainian Catholic Church.
Right.
Now, the Ukrainian Catholic Church is a little bit different to the Roman Catholic Church.
Yes,
because
correct. Yes.
Our priests can marry.
Mm-hmm.
And when you actually are baptized,
it's Orthodox Catholic.
No. It's not Russian Orthodox. It's not Orthodox. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Ukrainian Catholic.
Okay.
Our Pope is the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So no, I'm a Catholic, not Orthodox. Orthodox is a different religion.
Right.
But what I wanted to say is, I am Ukrainian Catholic. Okay.
Okay.
And when I am baptized as a baby, we don't have to have. You know how you have confirmation as a normal person?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
We don't need that because we have that power once we're baptized.
Oh, okay.
So stick that up your fucking pipe, you bastards. So I didn't need to do that stupid communion training, right?
Yeah, because being a Roman Catholic, I had to do baptism, of course. First communion and then confirmation. Then you're fully a Roman Catholic.
Exactly. See, so I'm automatically confirmed at birth. So fuck yous. And I got to tell you, seriously, there's no reason why I can't believe in God and be ArchieLuxury still.
It's true. I go every Sunday, and I feel great when I leave there. Now, granted, I'm not like the hypocrites that go there, which I don't like. I take my daughter and I, because my wife she's actually an atheist. So It's just my daughter and I that go. And sometimes my wife goes to support us, but she never gives us a hard time about anything. But I have a great feeling every time I come out of there. It's a great, great feeling. So.
You can grab that, Johnny. Don't worry if you want to grab.
No, I got
to tell you, Johnny, I actually enjoyed the service.
Yeah.
I'm actually spiritually. Look, I wouldn't say. Look, I don't believe in this fucking evangelical shit where they go and speak in tongues and it's a.
Yeah, no, I don't like. Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I went to the Catholic service. I even took the communion, which my sponsor was greatly pleased with. I said, yeah, I'm a Catholic. And I tell you something, Johnny. I had fun. It was good. I enjoyed it. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
And I I also like the way you dress up for church. In Thailand, everyone dresses up, so it's an occasion to dress up. You know, our society has become so casualized, right? It's an excuse to put on nice clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the problem here. It's so bad in the U.S. that they have to make an announcement sometimes to dress appropriately to church. See, they still come in shorts and sandals, and you know.
Yes, I really enjoyed it, Johnny. I got to tell you, I loved it. You know, if I see that sponsor again, I might even go again.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to say I enjoyed it, Johnny. I still am angry at the Catholic Church how they've handled the sex abuse and that there, but I went to a service. Is that okay?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. As long as you got something out of it and you felt good, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. So I quite
you don't have to be Catholic. You can be whatever you want, as long as you can even be atheist. Whatever makes you happy. That's the important part.
Well, the way I see it too is I don't feel hypocritical. I mean, if they let those priests back in after they've done naughty shit, just because I've been married 3 times and had half a dozen extramarital affairs, I'm sure that doesn't really matter. I can take that piece of bread. What do you reckon, Johnny?
No comment.
Now, Johnny, let's talk about watches. We've lost. Those 11 viewers have gone down to 2 viewers. Let's talking watches before we lose everyone, Johnny.
No problem. Well, let's talk about. I noticed that when you did your sale video for the AP, I noticed a lot of people were beating on the fact that 3,000 was too much, and I think maybe that it's not that the audience is uneducated. It's just that I don't think that they understand the differences between a mass-produced watch and a watch that is, you know, although some components are made on machinery, but still hand-finished and hand-assembled. There's a big difference between the two.
Exactly.
I think maybe we should focus on that.
Okay, so let's just itemize the bill a bit. The bill came to $3,091. That included FedEx shipping. Okay, so it was actually $3,044 worth of work, okay, approximately, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so $995 of that, right? That's the standard service charge.
Okay.
Then, because the watch...
Was it one more time? What was the standard service charge?
$995.
Okay, so that's in line with everybody else.
Now, that watch had never been serviced by AP since it was. It's a mid 90s, like 96, 97 watch.
So it's never been opened since it was cased up in Le Brassus, correct?
No, it was serviced by an independent Audemars expert about 5 years ago.
Okay.
But because I've got that receipt. I have that service receipt, but it hadn't really... I had sent it to my independent watchmaker in Australia because what happened is I bought it in 2012 and it developed a fault where it would stop before the date change.
Okay.
And the reason is there were some parts in it. You've got to remember, this Audemars Piguet, it's actually using an ultra-slim Jaeger-LeCoultre based movement.
Right.
And what actually happens is it's not like a normal Rolex movement. This is a super ultra-thin movement. Okay. You understand?
Yep. I got your watch up on my version of it on my screen.
Yep. I think it's a 2225 caliber from memory.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is that right? It's a 2225?
But it's a JLC base movement. So it's just a base movement, correct?
Well, look, the watch is fully AP. All I'm saying is the movements, JLC used to sell movements to many makers, including Vacheron and including Patek. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So the basic movement was made by Jaeger. Then they sell it to AP, and AP does a whole stack of work to it.
Right. That's crucial. So that's what I was getting at. So although it's a JLC based movement,
And there's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with a JLC based movement.
Not at all. But that's what I was getting at. So AP does a lot of hand finishing and a lot of extras to the movement.
And in fact, the end product is a much higher movement than a standard movement you'll find in a JLC.
Right.
Now, Johnny, I'll just bring up your screen. Sorry, I'll bring up your screen there. Now, Johnny, the whole thing is, right, you've got to understand this. The tolerances on this watch are not like a Rolex. This is like a hand-built car, like a Bentley.
Correct.
Comparing it to a Mercedes-Benz E-Class.
Right.
And I got to tell you, you pay a lot of money for that haute horology, high-end watchmaking. That's not a cheap thing. That's very, very specialized.
Correct.
Now, on my watch, okay, so $995 was standard service, right?
Right.
There were some parts. They are very, very fussy, okay? They will not just put a part in that doesn't seem absolutely perfect. So they replaced quite a lot of parts, okay?
Correct.
And I had an option. I could get it refurbished by them. That means polished, and they would also do some things to the watch, like they would replace the crown. They would replace the hands.
Right.
That cost me $700 to do that.
Correct.
So when you think about it, right, this watch has come back like new, and the next service from AP will probably just be $1,000 in 5 years' time if you send it to AP. And I would highly recommend, with an AP, don't send it to anyone who's just an amateur. You've got to send it to AP because they will keep it in line.
That's
correct.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yep. Uh-huh. So, but what you were saying though, the basic service is $995, correct? So $1,000.
Correct. Okay. Yes.
And so if I was to send, I already know the answer to this, and I'm sure you know the answer. But if I was to send my Daytona into Rolex, it would, for a standard service. Well, let's not even say that. Yeah, we can say that because it's a chronograph. It's going to be about $1,300 for a standard service.
Well, don't forget too, for the $1,300, they would also refurbish it and polish it, whereas with the AP, that's still extra.
And how much was it extra for yours?
$700 for mine.
Okay. Well, was there a lot of wear on yours, or no?
No, like they just did things like they replaced the. They're very, very fussy. Do you understand that?
I know.
The standards are incredibly fussy. They put new hands on, a new crown. They polished it. On the bracelet, they said it wasn't clipping in properly. Okay, they said they're not happy with it. I never found a problem with it. What they did was, they laser welded it.
See?
There's nothing. They did absolutely everything to make that watch look beautiful. No expense spared. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's worth it then. So it's the $3,000 isn't that bad when it comes down to it.
Look, I've got 3 assholes now, Johnny. Let's not forget that, okay? No, $3,000 is hard for me to swallow because I'm a lower middle class, overweight, lower middle class man.
Okay.
Let me put that in context. I paid for I bought a 16234, which is basically a white gold bezel date just. I paid the same price as the service. I paid for my date just second hand.
Okay.
It was fucking expensive. Of course it's fucking expensive, but if you want to drive a Bentley around and you're Fred Flintstone, well, you're going to end up with some shocks, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct.
So my problem is I'm shooting higher than I can, right, and it bit me in the ass. Well, that's okay. Johnny, it doesn't matter because I enjoyed that watch. The only reason I'm selling it now, you know why I'm selling it?
Because you want to get that stink out from under the house?
Yes. And I mean, I got a separation, and I lost my job, and my son's a coach. I need the money. If I didn't need the money, I would slap that fucker on my wrist, and I'd be boasting about how fucking wonderful it is.
Right.
But I need the money, and I think it's best to sell it when it's just come back from a service. It's still got the fucking the factory plastic on the watch. I haven't taken it out. You understand?
Right, correct.
So, in my opinion, sell it now. If I need the money, sell it now. Don't wear it for a week. Just sell it now. And the other reason I'm not wearing it, Johnny, is I'm scared I'll become addicted to it.
That's the problem. As soon as you put that on, that's the end of it. That's what happened with me. As soon as I put that one on, I tried it on, that's it. I knew I had to have it. And nothing would stop me to get until I got that watch.
Johnny, I got to tell you, in all honesty, I think the AP is in line with the Patek.
Right.
You don't need fucking half a dozen Haute horology pieces. You need one or two.
Yeah, I agree.
And look at me. I got fucking 4. I got the Breguet. I got the Patek. I got the Reverso, and I've also got the AP. So I've got 4. I got too many. A lower middle class guy like me should have 2 at max.
Right.
So I need to downsize a bit, okay? That's what I'm doing, man. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
And I love Rolex. I love Tudor. But you can't have too many Haute horology when you just earn an average wage.
Right.
It must be 4.
No, I totally agree. Well, we've covered the end of service, so we know what it costs for servicing. Now maybe we should explain why AP. Granted, Rolex is an excellent brand. I have Rolex myself. But why is AP better than Rolex?
Well, Johnny, I don't think it's better, okay? That's a bad word to use, right? Because you got to understand, Rolex produces 1 million watches a year, right?
That's what I was thinking. Correct.
So it's a mass-produced watch. It's like a Chevy, right?
Right.
Whereas the Audemars, I think they produce about 40 or 50,000 a year. It's not many.
Right. It's like the C-Class Mercedes and the top-of-the-line Rolls-Royce Wraith.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And the funny thing is that there's not much. The AP isn't that expensive. You know what I mean? You can buy them. Like I'm selling mine for $8,500. That's not ridiculous money.
No, not at all.
But you got to factor in the service costs eventually, you know. And it is a more delicate watch. The metal's softer. It uses an ultra-thin movement. So when you're using an ultra-thin movement, it's not as susceptible to knocks and things like a Rolex would be. Look, if you wanted a watch, if you're just an everyday person who wants one good watch, I would tell you Rolex every fucking day of the week.
Absolutely. I agree.
However, if you're a watch aficionado, if you are someone who loves that attention to detail, if you are someone who likes the iconic Audemars Piguet Royal, if you've always wanted one, it's well worth, and it's not that expensive. Ownership isn't that bad. It's like buying a second-hand Rolls Royce. You can pick them up for, I mean, I don't know about in America, but in Australia, you can pick up second-hand Rolls Royces. You know, they're quite reasonable.
Yes, they are. Yeah, here in the States too, they are too.
And the reality is, the service costs can be horrendous if you don't know what you're doing.
Correct.
But if you want one for yourself as your pride and joy, Johnny, it's every bit as good as a Patek.
That's correct. Maybe you're right. I used the wrong word. Better. It's a different level than what. It's at a different level than what Rolex is.
Let me say this. If someone said to me, what's the best car in the world? Right? My answer would be, what the fuck do you want to do? Do you want an SUV? Do you want a limousine? Do you want an eco car for low fuel economy? Do you want to, what is your purpose?
Right.
Okay? So for most people, if you want a watch to wear to work, Rolex Datejust, Rolex Daytona, Rolex Sub, Rolex, they're very robust. If you want a special watch, right?
Right. If
you want an iconic piece of art on your wrist, right? You understand? Iconic piece of art. An AP is a fantastic thing. The history, just the whole AP experience is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You got to understand that perfection comes at a price. You got to factor in the service. As long as you go into it with your eyes open, you'll be okay. It's not the. It's a thing of beauty. It's like owning a fucking. I'd rather have a Audemars Piguet than a piece of art on the wall. I think it's just so beautiful. It's you can, it's just wonderful. The attention to detail on the Audemars Piguet, it's about 3 or 4 levels above Rolex.
Yes.
Okay. Now that doesn't mean it's 3 or 4 times stronger. People think by spending a lot of money on a watch, it's more waterproof, it's more strong. No, 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 no.
No, no, not at all.
What it means is the attention to it can often be. If you want a watch just to wear for the next 30 years, I wouldn't be picking an AP.
Right.
But if you want a thing of beauty, which you love, you appreciate quality, I don't think you can get better than an AP. It's the same as getting a Patek or a, I tell you honestly, people always say, look, they always criticize AP, but I got to be honest with you. You know the Nautilus, the Patek Nautilus.
Yeah, right.
Well, Gerald Gentry, he designed for 3 companies. He designed for 4 companies. He designed for IWC, he designed for Vacheron, he designed for Audemars, and he designed for Patek. Now, I got to be honest with you.
Also Omega too.
Yes, I got to be honest with you. I think the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak is the fucking classic. I think it's nicer than a Nautilus. Okay, right. A Nautilus is just a copy. A Nautilus is just a fucking slightly. I don't want to use this term, but it's almost like they copied it and said, how can we make it? Put a bit of Patek DNA, and we want the same thing. That's what it is,
Well, that's because the AP, the Royal Oak, was the first high-end stainless steel men's sports watch. Remember?
And I got to tell you, I actually, what color dial is your Audemars Piguet?
It's the black dial, but it's more gray than black.
Yeah, it's the same. I got the bluey gray dial there. I love it. That is just such a fucking sexy piece. And I got to tell you, Johnny, in all honesty, right? I don't think you need a Patek and an Audemars. You have one or the other.
Right.
You understand? You don't need. You have one. That's your. See, you've got the ST 15400, don't you?
Yes, the 15400 ST. Yes.
Well, that's like owning a Patek, isn't it?
I'm sorry. What was that?
It's like owning a Patek. It's no different. It's the same. You don't need 10 of these things. You get one. You understand?
Right. Well, but let's clarify things though. Although it is in the same quality that I believe Patek is always going to be king of the hill, no matter what.
I got to be honest with you, Johnny. You know why I'm selling the Patek for $20,000?
Why?
No bullshit. I'm telling you the truth now, okay?
Okay.
This is not the stench from under my house speaking. This is the truth.
Okay. You're not getting lightheaded from it, right?
Just don't put the cigar under there. Just don't throw the cigar under there, okay? Johnny, I don't think it's worth $20,000. My Calatrava secondhand.
Right.
I don't think it's so much better than an AP or a Reverso.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. For some reason, the market thinks a Patek is the holy grail. Well, I've got to be honest with you. If I can get my 20,000, I don't think they're good value anymore. I think the AP you've got is much better value. I would rate look, I've got to be honest with you. I got a dress Calatrava, right? But it's technically the same sort of price as a Nautilus. The Nautilus uses the same movement as my Patek, and it's on a steel. It's steel, whereas mine's white gold with leather. The Nautilus is all steel with a steel bracelet. So that is an equal, right?
Okay, yep, that's correct.
But you buy a Nautilus new, it's so much more expensive than a 14. Sorry, it's so much more expensive than a 15400 that you've got.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth that much more. It's not twice the watch of yours. It may be 5% better. It may be 5% better. Okay. I reckon it's down to about 3% better. You want the truth?
Well, if you look at what's comparable to the Royal Oak, which, like you said, is the Nautilus, which is the 5711.
Yeah.
I mean, retail on that is like 30. Almost the retail on that's about 27,000, I think now, or 26,000.
Yeah.
Secondhand, you can, or like new in box, basically, without being pre-owned, you can get them for about 23. Now the AP is 18,000 retail, the Royal Oak, which is comparable to the Patek, and you can get that secondhand starting at around 12,000, one that's been used. If you want like new in box, you're going to pay around 13.5.
I reckon that's a really good value piece. What do you reckon?
I completely agree, because the movements are very similar. To me, looking at Patek, I think Patek is like I said, because they're the king of the hill, so they're able to charge that amount. I don't think that. I think that personally, because the 15400 does use the in-house movement too.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it uses AP's own in-house movement.
Mind you, there's nothing wrong with the Jaeger-LeCoultre-based movement.
No, nothing wrong with that at all.
It's a fucking great movement.
Right, like for like, I think they're both on the same playing field. I don't think that one's better than the other.
Exactly. So, the question is, Johnny, I don't think the Patek's good value anymore. That's why I'm selling the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth the money. There you go. I said it.
Right.
You know what I paid for my Patek 5 years ago?
I think you said you paid around 10 or 11 for it.
I paid $12,250.
Okay, that's a great. Now that would be an excellent bargain.
Well, at the time, everyone said I paid too much.
Yeah.
Dealers laughed at me and said that's a $10,000 watch.
Right.
I've enjoyed the fucking thing for 5 years. So what?
Right.
Do I need to own this fucking thing forever?
You bought it for $12,500, and then being realistic, you could probably sell it for about $17,500 to $18,500.
We're talking US dollars, aren't we?
Yeah, US dollars.
Exactly right. It's about 19 Aussie.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
No, it is. If you want to switch over to my screen, I can play a really nice AP video on how they make their dials on that.
Yeah. Let's do that, Johnny.
Let me know when you're on my screen, because I can't see.
I'm on your screen now.
Okay, I'm going to play it. Is the sound coming through?
Yeah.
Pour moi, ma montre, c'est un bijou. Alors, je vois comme ça, c'est ce bijou que je porte de toute façon. Donc, j'ai une identité à la montre. Je pense que pour moi, c'est ça. Et puis, je dois probablement pas être le seul, parce que si la montre servait uniquement à nous donner l'heure, le haut de gamme existerait. La valeur du cadran, c'est dans la fabrication, c'est dans l'usinage. Il faut laisser absolument le temps au burin de faire son travail. Et puis, à la touche qui rentre dans la rosette, entrer et sortir sans faire de rebond. Alors, c'est mécanique. L'électronique pourrait le faire, mais sans la beauté des reflets de lumière. Donc, c'est d'ores et déjà éliminé de notre vocabulaire. forme simple, des carrés, des carrés, c'est juste des carrés, quand on dit ça, c'est juste des carrés. Pourtant, les lignes sont bien proportionnées avec les carrés. Les carrés sont faits comme des minuscules pyramides dont la tête a été coupée. C'est la jonction des points qui forment les lignes avec le dessus des pyramides azur. Et puis, c'est le fait que les lignes droites sont formées avec des cercles, ce qui fait que la lumière est toujours ressortie en faisant des courbes. Alors, les gens ne comprennent pas, ne réalisent pas pourquoi c'est beau la plupart du temps, mais c'est tout simplement parce qu'on trouve des cercles dans les lignes droites. Le seul moyen de réussir ces dessins-là, c'est l'expérimentation, comprendre exactement ce qui se passe mécaniquement avec la machine, et puis pallier aux différents premiers points. C'est du temps. C'est uniquement du temps.
All right. So you can see, as in that video, the way that they're making those dials is a very intricate way of making them. It's used on, I think that tool that they make them on is over 100 years. Obviously not the dies, because those dies were made in the 70s. So you're able to see that there's a lot of intricacies that going into making that dial. And you can see that it's, you know, hand assembled, hand polished, hand painted, as opposed to a Rolex, which is made on a machine. There's nothing wrong with that. Rolex is an excellent, excellent brand. But there's a difference, and this is why these watches cost more than, say, a Rolex or an Omega. Same thing with why that it costs more to service these types of timepieces. I wish I could find, there's another very, very good, here's a great one where they talk about the grand complications. If I can just find it here. Okay, here we go. Here's complications and finishings. This is a very, very good video.
Il y a deux choses qui particularisent une montre dans la vie du jour. C'est sa complication, donc la technicité d'une part, et d'autre part sa finition. Vous achetez pas une montre que pour avoir l'heure, mais parce que vous rêvez dans la beauté de l'objet, dans sa manière de fonctionner, dans la finition, dans la manière dont il a été conçu, dans toutes les informations qu'il va vous donner mécaniquement. Très vite, on a constaté que dès qu'un objet avait été mis au point, il était nécessaire de le décorer par toutes sortes de choses. Ce qui a pour effet, effectivement, d'augmenter considérablement la valeur financière, mais aussi probablement la valeur affective que ces objets représentent, puisque la montre, encore aujourd'hui, est un objet totalement mythique. Il se transmet de génération en génération, il y a toujours la montre du grand-père qu'on conserve, même si elle ne marche pas, on ne veut pas s'en séparer. Hein. De tout temps, la vallée de Joux était à l'écoute des découvertes qui se faisaient ici et ailleurs, a toujours cherché à rester à la tête du progrès. Cette capacité de faire des choses exceptionnelles en mécanique et en finition. Et ces deux points importants, il faut les garder pour l'avenir, il ne faut surtout pas en changer parce que c'est ce qui fera encore à l'avenir le succès de notre métier.
So as you can see, it's another great video, and it explains on
I love it, Johnny. Johnny, I love that video. do you understand that that dial they're making is not just like a fucking Rolex dial?
Right. It's intricately made dial.
And you look at the handcrafting on an Audemars Piguet, compare it to a Rolex. It's incredibly good bang per buck. You understand what I'm saying? Like the Rolex is actually pretty shitty value because it's all machine made. It's just, whereas the Audemars Piguet isn't that much more expensive.
Right. No, I completely agree. And you can see that a lot of the hand finishing that goes into and actually making the bridges and things like that by hand. Whereas you're going to have Rolex or Omega, although, like again, they're a great brand and they're very well made. Those are being stamped out by a machine and they're being polished with a machine. So you've taken the human aspect out of making the watch, and that's why they're able to produce, whatever it is, 1.5 million watches per year.
Exactly.
As opposed to AP where they're making, and that's 1.5 million total production. So that means all their different models, Yachtmaster to Daytona, all of them are just 1.5 million, as opposed to AP where they're making 35,000 watches combined per year, and that includes the Grand Complications and everything down to the regular movements, around to the regular Royal Oak. Same thing with Patek. I think Patek only makes around 45,000 watches a year.
Exactly. I mean, Patek itself, I think they make about 60, but that includes some ladies' Patek 24s, which are quartz watches. So the actual number of automatic or mechanical watches, I should say, is about 45,000. And you've got to understand, Rolex makes 1 million watches a year. Do you understand that number?
Right. Mm-hmm.
They can't possibly do what Audemars Piguet does. Not to mention, the Audemars Piguet quality control is just fucking out of this world. Yep.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, it's just that it's another level. It's not bashing Rolex. It's not bashing Omega, but they're at a different, I guess you could say, a level than what AP, Patek, Vacheron, Lange, all of those higher end brands, Grubel Force, all those type of higher end brands. There's a big difference between them and what a mass producer makes. And that's another reason why Rolex is able to control their pricing, make it not as far as expensive as an AP, because again, it's being made by a machine. Another thing to look at too is that with Rolex says that it takes a year to make a watch. Well, that's kind of a double-edged sword saying that, because that's, on one hand, it is bullshit. On the other hand, it is true. If you take the process of making the case from a raw block of steel, and as those components are made, yeah, it probably takes over a year till that watch is finally produced. But the watch probably they can, if they're making 1.5 million watches a year, they could pump out. I mean, think about it. They're pumping out, 100,000 watches a month.
Johnny, what I mean? I want to ask you, what's your collection? Just run by our collection. You've got a 15400. That's the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak.
Very simple collection. I've got the Rolex Daytona, the white dial with the Rolex in-house movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the Omega Aquaterra that my wife got me for our 10-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. And that has the 8500 movement in it, which is not quite 100% in-house, but it's in-house. I mean, it's still made by ETA or ETA, but it's Omega's own tooling and things like that.
Well, it is in-house because the Swatch Group owns all those companies, so it technically is in-house. You understand?
Well, that you can't say that's not an in-house as far as Rolex in-house or AP in-house or Patek in-house. I wouldn't say it's. I don't know. I kind of feel indifferent about that one.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. You have got the Audemars Piguet, you got the Daytona, and you got the Aquaterra. 3 pieces. Is that right?
Right.
What are you getting next, Johnny? What's next?
I don't know.
You don't know? What do you mean by that, Johnny?
I'm just saving. I'm kind of all over the board. I haven't decided yet. I was thinking about a Patek or maybe a Grand Complication AP because you can get a secondhand for decent money.
Now, Johnny, I wanted to ask you, how is the car situation? You were talking 911s you were thinking about buying.
I kind of got off that. I don't know. I'm busy with work, and I'm happy that I'm busy and just trying to be positive, and I bounce from things. It's better to save money and watch that money grow in the bank. You know what I mean?
Would you buy a vet? Would you buy a vet now?
No.
Why?
I don't like Corvettes. I'm not a Corvette person. Nothing wrong with them. I'm not a Corvette person.
They're good bang per buck.
In America, they have a different.
Yeah.
They're
They're good bang for your buck. I mean, the new ones are really nice. New Stingrays.
50 grand, aren't they?
Right.
That's my company car when I work for you, isn't it?
No, it's that '95 Cadillac Fleetwood.
Oh yes. In black, please. In black.
Yeah, in black, jet black with that black vinyl top and a black interior.
See, Johnny, if I have that Fleetwood and things aren't going well, I could moonlighting doing a bit of limo work too, couldn't I?
There you go. There you go. But getting back to watches, Renovar had a good point, though. He says, to say Etta is in-house for Omega is stretching the truth. By that standard, Longines and Hamilton are all in-house, too. So you see what he's saying with that?
Very good point. I'm just eating some chocolate, by the way.
Swiss chocolates or Australian chocolates?
Lint, L-I-N-D-T.
Yeah, I know those. I don't know. Somebody mentioned Philippe Dufour. That's a very nice watch.
Johnny,
I don't know what I want.
I wanted to ask you there, right?
Uh-huh.
Give one to Alex too.
A. Crosby says I should go to Pawn Stars and add a 40% markup. Fuck no. The funny thing is about Pawn Stars, I don't know if Alan's ever been there, but they don't have, the majority of that shop is them selling their shitty merchandise, their hats, their bobbleheads, their T-shirts and all that shit. If you look at the display case, it's just a bunch of antique shit thrown in it. It's horrible.
Is that right?
Oh, it's terrible. Because they don't need, that shop is not it's not like a pawn shop anymore because they're making so much money per episode, they don't give a shit. And they're selling so much.
What's happened to Chum Lee? Chum Lee's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did.
What happened?
I don't know. I guess he got the what do they call it? He got the surgery, the lap band surgery.
Would you ever consider having that surgery yourself, Johnny?
No, I don't need it. I'm not big.
No, same as me. I don't think I need it either. What do you reckon?
No.
That surgery is fucking terrible because you never eat normal meals again. You know that?
Well, not only that, there's a big risk on that. I think there's like a 35% death risk on that too.
30%?
Yeah, that's a very. That might not be accurate, but I don't trust that surgery.
It's fucking dangerous, Johnny.
Ooh, somebody mentioned a 5270 Patek Philippe. Oh. You know the 5270, right?
Yes. Yes.
That is such a beautiful. Oh, I'm looking at it right now. How beautiful! Look at that. Without the moon phase, though, because remember you said you had that girlfriend who had all that. Do you believe in all astrological bullshit?
Johnny, I just craft stories for what suits me for my merchandise I own at the time. Okay. If someone gave me a 5270, Johnny, I'm sure I could learn to like the moon phase.
Right.
Okay. Don't worry about that, Johnny.
Right.
It's I got to tell you, Johnny. Tell me this, Johnny. What do you need next? Do you need a dress watch? Do you need what is missing from your collection? Do you need a diver? You were going to get an Audemars Piguet offshore diver. What the fuck went wrong? You even paid your friend to get it.
I know. I don't know. I just.
What?
I don't know. I think I need a dress watch. A real, like a proper dress watch with a leather strap. Just a proper dress watch. You know?
Could we do a deal on the Calatrava, Johnny?
I'll PayPal you 18,000 right now.
So, Johnny. So.
That means you have to fly out here though and personally give it to me for that amount of money.
It's okay. It's okay. Not a problem, Johnny.
Yeah.
No worries.
Let's see. Billy Ray said a 5164A with Tiffany dial. Let's see what that.
I think it's worth 18. I think that's probably the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right around there. Well, you said it needs. Does it need the what do they call it? The plating redone. The.
But if you're going to wear it, you wouldn't do it. You understand?
Yeah. Right.
If you want it as a museum piece, you do it and leave it. But I like things usable.
Right.
It's very usable, Johnny. Johnny, it's you. 18,000. Let's do the deal now, Johnny. Let's do it. I'll fix my drain. I'll fix my drain. Get rid of the stench, and
you're calling me out.
I'm only teasing you, John. I think it's worth 18. What do you reckon? I think that's sort of the money. What do you reckon? I tell you what. You know, I'll make it sweeter, Johnny. Johnny, fuck this. You know, make it sweet. I'll make it fucking super sweet for you. Okay? Johnny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Give me your AP. Give me your AP. How much did you pay for your AP?
11.5.
Okay. Give me your AP at 11, and you can have the Patek at 18. So
no.
Give me 7 plus the AP.
No, the AP's not going anywhere. That's a keeper forever.
Because I'd gladly take your AP, Johnny.
Right.
I can't swap it. Johnny, let's do it.
No, I got to keep the AP. The AP's not going anywhere.
Well, if you like, Johnny, I can do a double swap, okay?
Okay.
The Patek, okay, we said 18, right?
Yes.
You can have my 14790 for 8.
Okay.
That's 26. 26 minus 11, because I'll take your AP.
Okay.
That means you just need to give me. That means you need to give me. Let's work this out there. So that's 26. I'll take your. So you owe me 26,000, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll take your AP at 11. So take off 11 from 26 is 15. 15, and give me your AP, and I'll give you these two AP, an AP and the Patek. Perfect deal, Johnny.
No, I can't get rid of the 15400.
It's a great watch, Johnny.
I know. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah. So what dress watch would you get, seriously?
Probably a Patek. I don't like the Jules Audemars line. It would probably be a Patek, or maybe a Lange.
What sort of budget, Johnny?
About 25, probably.
I know of a white gold Calatrava for 18 for you, Johnny.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep saving. I want something with a complication. Remember, you had that. What was it? The 5930 or what was the one?
Oh, 5035. That's the annual calendar.
Yeah. See, that's a complication. That's what I want. I want something of like a complication.
Yeah, I understand, Johnny. Johnny. Hey, Johnny, we better call the show. We've been having a great show there. It's all great.
Yep.
And if anyone wants to donate some money, help me fix my fucking plumbing problem. I got to get this stench fixed. It is bad. It is so bad, Johnny. You got no idea.
Like I can smell it over the computer. It's so bad.
Exactly. So, Johnny, I got to do something about it. It's embarrassing. So, okay, Johnny, let's do another live show. You free next week?
Yep. No, not next week. Can't do next week. Be very busy.
The week after?
Yep. Let's do the week after.
Okay. Okay, Johnny, we're signing off. Thank you so much, Johnny.
Pleasure. All right. Bye.